We love. There we go. We live. Welcome to another bonfire. We got Disnoahland.
What's going on?
Noah, how are you doing? Good morning.
Hi. I know it's early. We never do these lives early. I feel like we're always talking about haunts and stuff, and they're normally pretty late. But here we are talking about some Disney.
Yeah, out of nowhere, Noah. We were just talking right before we went live. We're getting every announcement before freaking Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland. We're getting all these announcements before a Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood.
Yeah.
But
We're probably going to end up getting Tiana's before that.
What do you think comes first? Tiana's Bayou Adventure opening date at Disneyland or our first Halloween Horror Nights announcement? It's a good question because it seems like both might go into July. You know what I mean?
At this point, I would say Tiana's is going to come first.
Damn, Tiana's. Oh, my goodness. All right. We are live. Thank you for joining us. I know it's kind of a random live, but hey, the news drops when it drops. Today we're going to be talking about Fantasmic, and at some point in time, I kind of want to get into the conversation of Disney Plus, streaming, media, where things are going, and what Disney could do about it if they can. Noah, before we get started though, do you have any content or anything on the horizon just to let people know?
Yeah, I have a few videos planned just over on YouTube, Disnoahland on YouTube. Instagram, I'm always doing a bunch of stuff. Disnoahland on Instagram, literally anywhere. It's just at Disnoahland, so you can find me everywhere and keep up there. But yeah, a couple things planned, nothing specific yet, especially after this news. No Fantasmic video, not even doing that.
Let me ask you, before we even get into the Disney news, what happened to Soak City? It just kind of opened, and it went unheard of, right? Does it feel like that for you, or?
Yes, it did. It opened this last Saturday?
Friday or Saturday?
Friday, something like that. Yeah, this last week it had opened. And I haven't really seen anybody post anything about it. Maybe it's just because it's too cold or there's not enough schools out or anything yet. But I've seen like no one post anything. Our Knott's Adventure went just to kind of look at everything. And
the one thing I don't see in these photos are people.
Yeah, nobody's there. Nobody's there.
And there's a new bar. How do you not have the new bar open day one of Soak City? I didn't even know there was a new bar in the works.
Yeah, new bar probably coming in about 2 weeks, I would say.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the day I go to Soak City is when the new bar opens.
Hey, when the new bar opens and everything's good to go.
Yeah, I will say today is chilly. I don't know if today's like a go in the water kind of day.
Yeah, I don't think so.
SoCalorific says went on Sunday and the crowds were so low. The sun was out.
Yeah.
Really chill. It's a good thing for the people that are willing to go to Soak City. You got it all to yourself. Darstar says, I'm glad you guys are going to do Fantasmic. I'll just watch it from my house. It does not look like it's going to be anything spectacular. It's kind of a shame. Forget the dining plan. I'm getting bombarded by people saying I'm not doing my dining plan.
I'm not doing mine. And I had a $90 Blue Bayou, and it's just that's not happening. It's not happening.
At first I thought people were kidding, but I'm starting to think people are like, why do I need a dining? I already seen it, done that.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
watch the second show. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh man, Brian says kids aren't out yet. Maybe because pass increase, people didn't add Soak City or didn't get the prestige. I don't even know if my pass has Soak City. I have to look. Summer doesn't officially start till June 20th. Okay, so maybe Soak City, they're working out the
kinks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's get into it, Noah. There's an article that got dropped on LA Times, and this is where all the hype is or not hype, but just the chatter. Everybody's talking. They also released this video, so credit to LATimes.com. Disneyland Fantasmic returns after fire without a dragon. Here's a first look. What? That's how they're doing it. Okay. Before we even get into this article, this is the video they posted. And actually another video has come out too, showing us the Peter Pan and all that. We'll get to it all. But from what you're seeing right here, where are you at, Noah? Like, where's your mind going with all of this?
Yeah, for me, honestly, this is what I'm really thinking. I didn't expect a dragon to come back in the same capacity that it did right before it burned down. I wasn't expecting anything major like that. But I was expecting a little more than this. I was expecting maybe a dragon on a stick like they used to have in the past, or even a projection for the time being, I feel like is a little bit better than this. But this is just like a disappointment. I feel like we've had this scene before. Nothing here is new. She's kind of always raised up like that, and then they covered the whole thing with the water, and then the dragon eventually came out. But that scene's not new. Like, it's just kind of being extended. So I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I feel like they took the easy way out and are just kind of giving us what they're giving us and just telling us to deal with it.
Oh, when I looked at this, I was like, okay, we knew it was going to be different from what we had in 2.0. I see the fire in the water, so they're willing to still kind of give us the show elements that Maleficent is showcasing her power. But then I'm kind of like, but there's no I thought there was going to be a dragon head. At least a dragon head. Nothing.
Like, I would take that. I would take that right there, put a bunch of fog on the stage, and then this head that just kind of comes through the fog, and you see like there's a big kind of, you don't ever see the body of the dragon, but you know that there's something there. It's just, I don't know.
So then, like, when I watch this, it's more of like, but they're not even going to go to the B mode projections either. What's going on here?
Yeah. The thing for me, like the biggest question for me is, why didn't this show happen months ago? Like why couldn't we pull
May
out
25th or 24th? Why?
Exactly. Clean out the area that got burned down, do an assessment down there to make sure everything's okay, rebuild what you have to rebuild, and then continue on, doing this exact show. It's the same thing. We're not getting anything different, but it took way too long. And that almost felt like they were trying to build some sort of hype for something that was going to come, but then nothing ever came. So I don't know. I don't get it.
Let me see if I could, because Fantasmic, because I could have sworn Disney put out a statement back then. I think it was Scott Gustin got the word, and it said something like, "We are bringing some new elements, or some some new magic is going to come our way." Is this it? This is the new magic that is old magic? We got a super chat from regular Josh One. Drop it 10. Drop it the 5. My biggest question is, why the hell did it take this a year? I'm fine with it, but there's no reason for Fantasmic to be delayed a whole year. Maybe there's more in other scenes? Who knows? Okay, is there a surprise or more to this, and Disney's just holding it in their back pocket? Or we're just being totally optimistic here? What do you think, Noah?
No, I think we're being optimistic. I think they've shown the best parts of the show, or what they consider to be the best, newest parts of the show. And I think this is it right here. I think this is exactly it. Some vines that are being projected onto the buildings. And then the fire elements, which I am very surprised that they did bring these fire elements back.
Yeah,
I thought
shocked.
they weren't going to.
Yeah.
But okay, I give them that. That's cool. I think Disney had just released an article or something right now too that I was reading right before the live, and it said something about them still wowing guests with effects that they introduced in the 90s that include projecting onto a mist screen and fire effects and something else. And I was like, but is anybody really impressed by that? Like, I guess the fire effects on the water, pretty cool, but the mist screen projections, I don't think anybody this day and age is impressed with that anymore. I think that's kind of like old news. I think everybody nowadays is kind of out with the screens. They're like, we want to see more realistic Disney things. We want to see
physical things. Physical,
exactly. We don't want to see things on a screen.
This would have been way cooler, and I think nobody would complain if the dragon head came back.
100%. Just ahead. That's all they needed. It didn't need to be anything crazy. We knew there wasn't going to be a dragon breathing fire. We knew it wasn't going to be full body. We knew that going into it. But for them to not give us anything is a little weird.
Oh, my Lanta Noah. Let's get into this article. This was written by Todd Martins on LA Time. For more than 3 decades, Disneyland nighttime show Fantasmic has highlighted the Anaheim Park. I'm not even going to get into that. 2023, however, a key portion of the show caught fire. Climactic battle between Mickey Mouse and Maleficent and a 45-foot breathing dragon form brought to a halt when the latter became engulfed in flames. Viral, blah, blah, blah. Fantasmic returns Friday. It will feature a few key changes, including the return of an extended segment focused on Peter Pan. It also won't have a dragon. Yet the apex of Fantasmic will still revolve around a battle between Mickey and Maleficent, who is in the image seen and towering over the star of the show, her figure conjuring in a... Oh my God. They ain't no hyping up this scene right here. Fire effects will appear to shoot from Mickey's hand, and Maleficent will set the river ablaze. So this is it. This truly is it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've seen them do this. I've seen them do this in the past. When the dragon didn't work, they would keep this scene. That's before they did the projection of the dragon. But I remember a few years ago when the dragon wouldn't come up for whatever reason, it would just be this right here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing we've seen before.
Yep. This is from Robbie. I think there'll be a different presentation. Everyone is going to be surprised at the new additions to the show. We were all surprised with Pixar Parade. That has to be bigger. This has to be a bigger and better show. I don't know, dude. I feel like everything got kind of played here. The whole theme of the show, good versus evil, Mickey's magic and imagination overpowering the evil. It's important to have that peak in the show, says Disney Live Entertainment Toby, who has been working on Fantasmic for nearly all of its 3+ decades. It's the Disney longest so-called nighttime spectacular. What? Maleficent is still going to be spectacular, Longo says. She's on a stage longer than she used to. Oh my God. Okay. They're trying to hype this up, Noah. They're trying to hype this let me get this bigger. Maleficent is still going to be spectacular. She's on the stage longer than she used to be. We've added new pyro effects with really cool projections and lasers. The river's still going to light on fire. As much as we miss the dragon right now, it's still going to be a spectacular scene. Damn. I almost want to say like none of this was needed. Like an article to be written, a statement to be said.
Oh, not at all.
Just let it all debut Friday, right?
That's what they should have done. I mean, they would have had a lot of really upset people if they would have done that Friday, because now people can kind of step back and be like, do I want to go? Do I want to cancel my dining at least? Do I even want to just fully cancel the reservation? So I don't know. People have a choice now that they know what's coming. But I don't know. They're really hyping this up like it's going to be something great, and we're looking at it right now on the screen.
Do you think this? Okay, so some people were saying on Instagram that this is so it doesn't hurt so much on Friday of disappointment or the letdown. Do you think that's why they did this article in media?
Yes, I really do. I really do. I really do think it's to not get anybody's hopes up too high that a dragon's returning in any sort of capacity. I think it was to kind of release that sort of pressure from people thinking that that was going to happen. And it
Yeah.
was to let them down easy and be like, yeah, no dragon. We're just giving you this. Here it is. You can kind of see it now. And then that's that.
And then also, I just saw somebody right now. Somebody just commented, where is it? Victor, any word if the huge TikTok croc will be back? That could make it worth it for me. I'll let Noah take this one.
I was saying no. There was a video that Scott just posted on Twitter. I don't know if you can pull it up, Mondo. And
Yeah,
it
I'll pull it up.
shows the scene of the Peter Pan boat going by, and there is no TikTok croc behind the boat. So I would assume that it's not coming back. But they added Lost Boys. So I think that's their way of like, we're trying to make up for it not coming back. We're adding new segments of Peter Pan to the show. But you'll see the scenes coming up right here on the video.
Shout out to Scott for just dropping all this news. Everything's just. Oh, here it is.
There it is. That was it. That was it right there. You can see that there was no croc following that ship at all. Right here, you would see it. You know, that whole.
I feel like they would have shown it.
Right there. That's where you would have easily seen it from that angle that they showed. You would have seen it there. So I don't think that the croc is coming back. Because it followed right behind the ship. And that was the whole point, was that Peter Pan was kind of poking fun at Captain Hook, like, look, there's the croc behind you, it's going to get you, whatever. And then that made that whole end moment where he's swinging across the boat kind of iconic, because he's like going to fall into the water. But there's no croc there, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it's
right.
going to be a brand new story.
Right there. They would have shown the croc right here. You would have been able to see it.
Right there, and it would have been in that shot where you can see the whole boat. You would have easily been able to see it.
There's no croc.
No crocodile.
Well, what do they say? Ain't that a piece of croc? Is that a phrase? I don't think that's a phrase.
I just, yeah. I don't know. I think that whole Peter Pan segment is going to be a new story, though. I think there's going to be new, sayings and things. I don't think it's going to be that original one. I think it's going to be a little bit different. So maybe that's why they took out the croc, because it has nothing to do with this new story that they're going to be doing.
Let me play.
Do you hear something? My hook.
Yeah, it's almost like they don't want us to hear the audio.
Well, here's the thing, and the thing that sucks is you can tell Peter Pan in that one moment goes, "Can you hear something?" And you know how embarrassing it would be for Disney if they use that line and there's no crocodile following? I'm a little confused. Do you hear something? No, because there's no crocodile following anymore. So hopefully it is there and it just wasn't shown in this video, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I thought Peter Pan was gonna, like, his first sighting is like, oh, and then
that would have been cool.
The whole crowd is like, oh snap, Peter Pan is back. Peter Pan, 'cause, dude, people go nuts for Peter Pan. I'm a firm believer of that.
Yes,
Peter Pan is just super popular, super popular.
Yeah.
Do we miss Pirates of the Caribbean?
I have no comment on that because I don't care whether or not we had Pirates or Peter Pan. They're kind of, in my opinion, just equal. Like, it was cool having both. But yeah, I don't know. It is a little weird that I feel like this whole move of them trying to remove it was when this whole Johnny Depp thing was happening in the news.
Yeah.
And they kind of already made this decision of like, we're just removing him altogether completely from the parks. And now that everything happened and played out the way it did, they're kind of just like, well, now we're stuck with this. Like, now we have to go on and just move on with Peter Pan.
I think Peter Pan is more timeless too. Like, it'll always be,
it's very Disney.
Yeah, it has the Disney charm. Pirates, it has the Disney charm, but it's so Johnny Depp. It's Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Freaking Jack Sparrow. They might as well call him Johnny Depp. It's hard to eliminate that. Peter Pan, there's not many you could point at. Like, oh, that actor. Not really. It's Peter Pan. Miss JTX 34. Oh my! Wow! No dragon, no croc, tomatoes,
and possibly no Aladdin. So don't.
Oh, we haven't even talked about Aladdin. Oh my, dude.
I don't know, you guys. I mean,
this Fantasmic changed a lot, Noah. Now that we're like looking at it.
They took away the croc and the dragon and Aladdin, but they added brand new lasers. So hopefully you're happy.
And
that's basically what they're saying.
Maleficent's going to be out there longer.
And Maleficent's my favorite villain. My absolute favorite villain. I go crazy every time I see Maleficent. But this doesn't even make me excited. It just doesn't.
Do you think they just go Aladdin projections and it's still part of the show, but they just give us projection? Because they've done that before where the Aladdin segment is projections, not necessarily this.
Yeah, they might. I mean, that whole arm and everything down there that they used for that Aladdin, I think was damaged in this fire. So yeah, I don't think that's coming back at all, but I could see projections to kind of keep the same soundtrack. I could see it. Because it would be a little weird.
It's so iconic to lose Aladdin. I love having Aladdin in Fantasmic. But Aladdin wasn't part of 1.0, right? It was just 2.0, if I'm not mistaken.
2.0, yes.
Man. I remember right when I was getting into Disney, like Instagram and like just kind of the whole just being in the know of what Disney does on a day-by-day basis, it was right around the time where we lost Fantasmic for 2.0. And I remember all of I went after work for day one of Fantasmic 2.0. All of Toy Story completely packed. The left side, the right side. I couldn't park. It was horrible. And when I finally made
Yeah.
it in, it was like impossible to watch the first show, so I had to watch the second show. And I remember talking to people that day, and they're like, "What is this World of Color show? We don't want no World of Color in Fantasmic." And at the time, I was like, "What? I haven't seen it yet. I'm just hearing people complaining because I'm getting there to watch the second show." And
Yeah.
Disney, once they got their whole projection mapping and water effect, they went all out. They're like add like 40% of it to the show of Fantasmic. It has to be a big part of Fantasmic. And it's kind of weird that like they're very strong at doing projection mapping on like the mist, but then we're gonna get Maleficent standing out there longer. I don't know. It's just like I feel like Disney didn't know what they wanted to do here, and this is just kind of the result of it all. Because there's no way that some people that work on this show didn't want the big head. You know what I mean? Like, I find it hard to believe that the big head wasn't a consideration somehow.
Yeah, it had to have been, I think. And I don't know why they didn't. It didn't have to do anything special. It literally didn't have to breathe fire, didn't have to do smoke, didn't have to do anything. Just some sort of big moment that's not Maleficent going up on a pedestal. Like, Maleficent has her moment when she comes out and she does her whole speech of, now you'll deal with me, and she's like flinging her thing and she's going up and she's turning into this big beast, and then this big beast that just doesn't happen. Like, I feel like they build it up, and then like nothing happens, and that happens, and there's a firework maybe and the fire on the water, but there's no big moment, there's no big deal. Like, it's just kind of like there. I don't know. It feels weird.
The big moment is this thing right here. This is it.
It's right there.
What does Mickey say?
She says something about, now you'll deal with me and all the powers of my imagination, and then he goes, "Oh no!" And then the dragon comes out.
Yeah. What does he say when he takes down the dragon?
Something like, "This is my dream," or something like that, and then he like shoots it and it like explodes.
Let me bring it
crazy.
I'm curious. Phantasmic Five Fires. Where are we got? Let me see. Let me go to it, Noah.
And I'm also like, for me, another thing is great that Fantasmic's back. I'm happy that it's back. It gives guests another, thing to do at night besides fireworks. It gives another entertainment option. I'm all for entertainment at theme parks right now because a lot of it's getting cut everywhere. But what I'm also worried about is guest control traffic with all the construction and stuff that's happening over in that area.
Miserable.
It's just like, I don't know. That better work out so smooth. Otherwise, the guest experience is just not going to be worth it. It's just not going to be good.
Let me go to. I just want to watch this. I miss this so much. Let me put the volume up. You're so powerful.
Well, this is my
dream. Dude, nothing's gonna hit like a dragon on the freaking stage. Damn. Look at that. We're getting this now. It's like, oh man. Well,
I was muted. Yeah. There were so many things that Disney could have done over this. Like, I wasn't expecting anything major. I wasn't expecting an identical copy of the dragon coming out. But I was expecting more than this. I really was. And to do something that you call your nighttime spectacular and then do this, to me, it's a cop out. It's like what's the easiest thing we can do? She's already going to be up on the thing. We'll just leave her up on there.
Leave her longer. Leave her longer.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, they could have done so much more. I wasn't expecting a dragon. We knew that wasn't coming back, but more than this. They could have given us more than this.
Let me see. No. Right here. Here we go. I wanted to bring up a video because you are right. Crowd control, I feel, will be the hardest it's ever been for Fantasmic because of the walls. Let me see if I could fast forward. There we go. Where we got all these construction walls from Tiana's Place, Haunted Mansion, all the way to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It's gonna be wild, dude. People just jam pack like sardines.
Yeah. I'm trying to look right now. I'm looking on YouTube right now, and I found this video. I think it's Walt Disney World though, of when their dragon doesn't work. They just had Maleficent standing on the stage like she's gonna do for ours. So like it's nothing new. We've seen it before. Both coasts have seen it before because I've seen it with my own eyes here. And I guess this video was from Walt Disney World, and she just kind of stands there.
Yeah.
And does, a bunch of movements. I don't know. It's a little just, I don't want to say boring. It's not boring. It's just not exciting.
It's not like a climactic. It's not climactic.
No.
Fantasmic is a key piece of Disneyland's live entertainment, which the park's summer has been leaning heavily upon, with key attractions such as Haunted down for refurb. Tiana's not expected to open for a few months. Wow, that's kind of interesting. Disney has sought ways to turn the park into more of a theatrical experience, to wit, a new parade featuring Pixar. It joins the contemporary Magic Happens. Firework fans can also go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Yep. And the return of Fantasmic, however, will further the impression that all of Disneyland is a stage and a place where not only guests can play at heightened versions of themselves, but the park can also spring to life and envelop us in stories. Fantasmic makes use not just of Rivers of America and its centerpiece island, but also a large-scale attraction as the Mark Twain. They're just trying to hype up stuff here, and it ain't working. It ain't working.
Yeah.
Look at Peter Pan. Okay. I think it reflects wonderful combination.
Read this one right here. Right here.
I think it reflects the wonderful combination of theatrical technology and classic Disney. We've used elements that back in 1992 nobody had ever seen. Mist screens, projections on water, lasers, and lighting a river on fire. All of that was so new. It's amazing to me that 30 years later, those elements are still as shocking and exciting as they were in 1992. It combines the charm of classic Disney, live performance, and spectacular technology. And now we have to remember that probably 75% of guests at Disneyland have never seen a live entertainment show. So that's what they're banking on. You ain't never seen this show. So this is just enjoy it.
Well, they're banking on that you still love the mist screens from 1992 and the laser effects from 1992 is what they're saying, that guests still love that. And I don't think they have a good idea of what their guests like, because I don't know anybody that watches Fantasmic and goes, the coolest part about that show is when they projected on the screens. That was like the best part. Everybody's always talking about the dragon's the best part. The ships are the best part.
But the water came to life, and they played Aladdin on there.
Like, I don't ever hear anybody say that ever. Nobody's dazzled by those effects that were used in the early 90s. I don't think they are. I think people, when they see Fantasmic, their favorite parts are, we saw Peter Pan flying across his ship. We saw, Mickey shooting fireworks out of his hands. We saw a dragon breathe fire. Like, I don't think they're talking about, oh, well, there was this moment where they projected Lion King on a water mist screen. I don't know. I feel like the best parts of this show are the actual practical effects that they're doing on the stage.
Yeah. What does this say? Of course, big universal themes don't hurt either, and Fantasmic in about 25 minutes touches the power. They're just trying to little hype train here, pretty much. Okay, Fantasmic serves a similar role, weaving in and out of history of Walt Disney imagination, especially now that Peter Pan has once again returned and has replaced a scene referencing Pirates of the Caribbean with the Lost Boys in tow. Peter and Wendy will take on Captain Hook, climaxing with a swashbuckling battle. And while the dragon may be missed, Longo offers a hint that we haven't seen the last of Maleficent in her fire-breathing form. All right, let's go to it, Noah. Is this just temporary? The big 75th is the return of an animatronic. This is just
maybe
temporary, or does Disney? This is like the darker look, Noah. Does Disney go, hey, the fans and everybody that comes to Disneyland, they've never watched this show, so this is new to them. Let's go spend our billions on Avatar Land. We don't care about this show no more. Does Disney go that route? Because that could happen.
Disney might go that route. Disney might go that route because they know
we got to go build that other DVC hotel.
They know. Disney knows that the people who have never seen the show and are coming on vacation are going to see this show. They've heard so much about it. They've seen viral videos of the dragon on fire. They want to watch this show. They know all about it, so they're going to see it. And two, they're banking on key holders who are just diehards of everything Disney does and can't go wrong in any way, shape, or form. And those are the people who are going to buy the things and be there opening night and be recording and be just super hype about something that, I don't know. I could see Disney just banking on the fact that they're like, everyone's going to watch it anyways. Why are we going to care to put any money into this? People are hyped. People are hyped that just the name Fantasmic is coming back and we don't have to put anything into it. Why do we care whether or not it looks newer and better and whatever? People are just hyped because it's Fantasmic.
We're excited for something to come back, and we're in the works and working on it. But I think what I've done with that scene, the good versus evil, and the battle between Maleficent and Mickey is so spectacular. We've all loved the dragon, and we'll keep working on things, but there's not much I can say about it.
In other words, we haven't started a dragon yet.
In other words,
this is going to be temporary, but we're planning on it.
We're going to get King Thanos. We're going to get Avenger e-ticket ride here. Dude, I could totally see them just put it on the back burner. Hey, we got Disneyland Forward to worry about. We can't worry about this dragon.
This is not. I don't think this is a priority for them.
Yeah, and the reason I say, Noah, is that they mentioned it, 30-year long show. This been there, done that. They got Disneyland Forward to worry about. Avenger e-ticket ride. Avatar Land, Electricity coming to Autopia. They got Din Tai Fung. There's so many other things that are gonna take lots of money. So that's why, like, where do they revert their energy and power back to a dragon when they already got their solution, which is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being too dark on that, but that's how I feel. It's just man. I really hope.
I mean, even if it was temporary, then that again just raises the question of where was this a few months ago? Why did it take a year to get this up and running if this is just a temporary version?
Yeah.
They should have had it running as soon as they could have. You know, we didn't need anything new. If they would have just told us the show is coming back, it's temporary, there's no dragon, it's for now it looks like this. We're working on a dragon to be done by this year at this time or whatever. It would have been like, okay. But the fact that they waited a year made it seem like they were trying to reimagine the entire show and add new elements and add new whatever. This doesn't look new to me. It looks like the same stuff that we've gotten in the past.
No, Maleficent is out there longer. That's my favorite quote of all that. I think overall, Fantasmic coming back, even in this form, is 1,000 times better than Fantasmic. Or not Fantasmic, World of Color 1. As soon as Fantasmic comes back, I probably will never watch World of Color 1. I do not want to watch World of Color 1 anymore. I'm retiring it. I'd rather just stay at Disneyland side and act like World of Color 1 doesn't exist. I'm still shocked. I am still shocked, Noah, that we didn't get a Pixar World of Color. You know, there's no better time to have done a Pixar World of Color than Pixar Fest. Pixar has so much good music and scenes and storyline that they could have interweaved a whole 20, 30-minute show. I'm still shocked on that.
100%.
Since we're on this topic, what are your thoughts about Pixar Fest? Now that we've got some weeks under our belt, kind of done it all, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel about it?
I mean, to me, it's kind of like every other festival. It's great in the beginning. I loved it. It was fun when I went for the first time. But now it's just kind of like getting old. And I think that's probably because I've been so many times and done a lot of Pixar and did all that. For people who are like, hey, it's my first visit to the parks in a year and I'm coming next week. It's like, oh, definitely check out Pixar Fest. You're going to love it. You're going to love all the entertainment and the food offerings and the characters and everything. For me personally, I'm just kind of over it. And that's the price you pay being somebody who goes to the theme parks often is like, you get over things very quickly because you're doing them constantly. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's not that Pixar Fest was terrible and it wasn't fun and whatever. It's just that I'm over it. And, it gives me like the opportunity to step back and let other people go and enjoy it and me not be in all of Pixar Fest and trying to camp in front of the castle and trying to go meet specific characters. Like I did that. I've been there, done that. Now it's other people's turn to come and experience it all for themselves.
Yeah, for me, Pixar Fest is still really great. I think the chef's kiss to Pixar Fest would have been if Pixar Club was what we thought it was going to be.
Yes. Yes.
And the ball just they just dropped the ball on that one.
Yep.
I know there's going to be people that are like, but it's for kids, Mondo. We wish it was for the big kids. You know what I mean? That's what everybody thought it was going to be.
For sure thought.
Like a slight Mad Tea Party vibe, but Pixar Fest. People are hanging out there all night, every Friday, Saturday, getting some drinks, some foods, dancing the night away, characters dancing. Pretty much the same thing they do for Fantasyland Theater, just kind of a little bit more adult at DCA side.
Yeah.
It would have been great.
They could have easily put Fantasyland Theater as the dance party for kids, and Club Pixar as the dance party for adults. And that's where you focus more of your food and drink options. And in Fantasyland theaters, where you focus more of your dance party and character interactions. Like
Yeah.
adults don't need character interactions. We're good with the food, the drinks, the good music, the good vibes, whatever. But yeah, I totally thought that that's what that was gonna be.
Yeah, I think that's like the and the World of Color Pixar. That would have been perfection.
Yeah,
But I think Pixar Fest is still holding up pretty good. I'm just gonna act like the booths don't exist and everything's fine because the food is great for Pixar Fest. The seasonal foods,
yeah.
just not the booths, not the booths. My final thought on Fantasmic: I am very excited. I'm not canceling my reservation. Uh, I am gonna cancel. I think the Riverbell one. Now that we've seen stuff, I'd rather just do the cheaper one for Rancho de Zocalo. That's how I feel. I don't know. I don't know what the Riverbell one was gonna cost, but I might as well just wherever I sit's where I sit. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think the music, the Mark Twain scene at the end, everything's still gonna hit hard, and I'll probably get emotional seeing it all come back. I just wish there was a dragon still. That's all it is. But I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I on Friday I'll watch it twice. I definitely want to watch it twice. And if I like it in person, I might come back Saturday and watch it again. So we'll see. So stay tuned, everybody. All right, I want to change topics here, Noah. I want to get onto something we really haven't talked about, but I feel like this is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is an article from Yahoo. It says streamers like Netflix and Disney Plus have a Gen Z problem. It says entertainment companies from Disney to Warner Brothers have looming Gen Z problem as they bet their futures on streaming. You know, all we've heard from Disney for like, I feel like 2 or 3 years now is how much they care about Disney Plus and the streaming and profitability and all this good stuff. They're spending billions to replicate the TV model with streamers, but their future customer may not want what they're selling. New research from Deloitte shows members of Gen Z prefer to watch social media video and live stream 47%, about twice as much as TV show, 4 times as much as movies. The difference is even starker than it is for millennials, 33% of whom have a preference for social media and live stream, compared to 27% for TV show and 18% for movie. Younger consumers prefer social media and live streams to TV show and movies. Wow! Wow! Do you think this article is hitting the right notes, or this is off? Like, how do you feel about it? How do you feel?
Well, as their younger consumer, as their person who they're talking about in this article, I fully agree. I spend more time on YouTube watching YouTube videos and live streams than I do on Netflix, than I do on Disney Plus. People of my generation would prefer watching YouTube videos over a brand new show that's on Disney Plus or a brand new show that's on Netflix, unless it's something that we've seen in the past, like a Stranger Things. You know, people will go back to Netflix and watch that, or, you know, big shows like that. But if there's brand new shows coming to Netflix or brand new shows hitting Disney Plus, nobody wants that. Nobody watches that. Nobody of my generation wants that. People would rather come on here and watch somebody walk around the park and live stream, or watch people, you know, cook in their house, or, you know, do whatever they're doing on social media. But I fully agree with this article. I fully agree with it.
And what I want to bring up, Disney, they pump like 150 million to 300 million into some of their movies, and even like 150 million to 200 million into some of their Disney Plus shows. does Disney have to like steer the ship somewhere else? Because they're trying. Disney wants to hit this younger demographic. Disney, like, as much as they have like the people beyond me. I'm a millennial, but the people before me, whatever they're called, we all love Disney. But it's starting to seem like the Gen Z, and what's the one after Gen Z? Is it Gen X, or what are they trying to call whatever they're trying to call that?
I don't even know what they're trying to call them.
The 10-year-olds. It seems like they're not all into Disney. Disney's not this like, because for me, Disney, Universal, Knott's, all these things, like I live and breathe this stuff. I freaking love it. But it seems like the younger generations, they're not falling in love with Disney or even Universals or whatever the case might be. To them, a social media star or social media content is more of like a regular person doing YouTube videos is more of a thing to them than this new $150 million, $200 million budget acolyte coming soon for Star Wars. Like, if I put you in charge, Noah, I'm putting you in charge. Like, what's the steps we do here? How can I hit the Gen Z target? What do we need to do? This is a problem.
Well, if I was in charge, sure.
I'm putting you in charge, Noah. Gen Z. I want to get exposure to Gen Z. I want them to fall in love with the Disney brand. Like, what do I do? What do we do? You know what I mean?
I would take a lot of the money that you're investing into Disney Plus and streaming and Hulu and buying Fox and buying ESPN and buying all. That was a waste of your time. Nobody's doing that. I mean, cool that they're all kind of in one general place now. And it's all whatever. If I was Disney, I would take all that out. That would have not happened. I would have not invested any money into there. Disney Plus would have been solely for, this is where you can watch our collection of Disney movies. Anything that we release now, Wish, whatever, it'll be eventually added to Disney Plus, but there's not going to be Mandalorian. There's not going to be shows that were, theming specifically for Disney Plus. There would be no Disney Plus specific.
Let me bring one up that nobody cared about, and they actually took it off Disney Plus. Willow. They took it off.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That was a thing.
Dude, I'm curious.
You said it now.
New Disney Plus shows 2023. What Disney Plus shows came in 2023? I have no idea. Like last year? Is there like a list? I'm really curious to see. Let me see. I'm trying to look right now.
That whole Disney Plus creating original and new content on there is just not working. It's not working for them. It's not catching anybody's attention. You have a hit show maybe once in a blue moon with like Mandalorian or with WandaVision. But other than that, you're not hitting show after show after show after show. So I would use all that money that they're doing and investing in these brand new projects and invest that into social media. I would invest that into our TikTok and our YouTube and our, Instagram and all of that.
Even though they don't want to,
I would do.
They need to invest in Twitter. They
have to. All of the social media. If they want Gen Z on their side, they need to invest in social media. And that's honestly what they need to do. That's what we're spending all of our time. Gen Z is all of their time is being spent on social media. If you want to tap into them, you have to tap into the social media, and you can't be just throwing videos out here or there or announcements here or there. It's got to kind of be like you're constantly working.
This is last year, Noah. This is last year. I was just curious what they did last year. In December, they dropped The Shepherd. Timeless Heroes, Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford. I never watched that. Doctor
I've never
Who,
heard of either of those.
Dancing with the Stars. Is Isabel Preisler My Christmas? Santa Claus Season 2. Soundtrack number 2, Korean original. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Doctor Who the Giggle. What? Dancing with the Stars. I don't know any of this stuff. Percy Jackson. Dude. So if this article has validity, is this what they thought Gen Z was going to want? You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Or is Disney like, we're done trying to target Gen Z. We're just going to go for millennials again and the older,
they might be.
And the older crowd. We can't win with the younger crowd. We can't get them.
They might be doing that. I think they've invested so much time and money into their Disney Plus that now it's kind of like, well, if Gen Z's not watching it, now we have to start trying to make content for people who are watching it. And those are all the older crowd, because they have a new Beach Boys thing coming out. I don't know any Gen Z person who's like, oh, I'm getting Disney Plus to watch the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Like nobody, that's not, it's just not a thing.
Like I feel like
Taylor
a Gen Z
I don't know
person,
how well that did.
Like I feel like a Gen Z person's like it's harder for them to be like, oh, what? That one show is on Disney Plus? Let me subscribe. Like or a Gen Z guy's like, oh, my favorite creator just dropped a new video. I'm going to YouTube. Boom. No subscription. Just watch it on YouTube. Watch it on Twitter. They dropped a new TikTok or a new reel on Insta. Like, you just watch it. It seems like
I think the thing.
I was just gonna say the barrier of like a subscription, paying for it. It's like harder for the Gen Z to cross that. Is what I'm trying to say.
I don't know if it's even that, but for me, it feels like with the YouTube, with the social media, it's more personal. That's your group of people. This is the Five Fires community. Everybody in this chat feels like they know you, even if they've never met you, because it's so real and it's so personal. And I think that's what we're latching onto, is that like realistic aspect of it. Is like, I know Mondo, I hang out with him when he drops a video every week. I watch his video. I feel like I'm there. So you don't get that connect with shows and movies. And I feel like there's a big shift right now happening with A-list celebrities and social media people. Like, they're almost flip-flopping. People are starting to care less about A-list celebrities and more about these social media people. And I think that's because these social media people are creating a fan base or a following or, some sort of thing that's very personal. Like, even on my pages, all of that stuff, I try to answer every DM. I try to talk to you if you message me. I'll try to include you in everything. I'll try to really explain everything so that every sort of audience member understands, from people who are 5 years old to people who are 95 years old. It's kind of like you create this sense of community, whereas A-list celebrities who are starring in these shows, they don't care. They care about themselves.
No community.
Another car and another brand deal and another. There's no community. They're not giving back to the people. They're not talking to their people. They're not. None of that. It's kind of just these big celebrities that care about themselves, whereas people like you and me on live streams and on YouTube create this community and care about them. Like, we're doing this for you. We're doing this because you guys like it. You're reacting to this. I got this many likes on a video, and so now I'm going to do more content like that because I see that my audience likes it. I'm trying to kind of learn what you want to see.
That's so true how you say that, because like right now, as you're talking about that, I'm trying to think, like, am I connected to any movie star? Not really. Like, do I feel like a movie star has a community that I want to interact with? Not really. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't.
It's just weird. You can't connect to celebrities in that way unless there's some sort of reality celebrity. And even when they are a reality celebrity, it's very hard to get lost and get disconnected again if they start showing you all this stuff that's not real. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I'm a reality star, but I live in my $85 million mansion and I blah blah blah. and then you get disconnected again, because then you're like, okay, it's not real. That's not me. I can't connect to that. I don't want to be friends with that person.
And I guess I could see that vision of Gen Z, where the big movie star, these big movies and whatever they're trying to do on streaming, it's just not connecting with them because they don't want to connect with that. They like being in a community. They like to be with something that seems more, I guess you could say, more real. People, you know, one thing, my girlfriend Coco, she said was going like viral was this girl that just vlogs her daily life at college, like a sorority house, and she goes viral like every reel on Instagram, and it's just her showing her day at some like sorority house, and I'm like, what? But people
it's just real.
It's a real thing.
It's real.
Real
people
life.
Connect to it.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Let me. Should Disney do like a new age? I don't know how to say it. Should Disney invest in a 2025 current day like high school show or a current day college show? You know, just like I'm trying to think of like a Boy Meets World. What are some other shows that it like kind of lived in the high school era? What are some good?
I get what you're talking about. I think no. I don't think they need to invest in that because people my age aren't watching that.
Oh, right here. No, I looked up like just TV high school shows. Like these are phenomenons, dude. Degrassi, OC, One Tree Hill. Euphoria was a huge hit. I feel like that was huge. High School Musical, I guess, was pretty big back in the day. These are kind of like more current time stuff. Let me see if I could. High school TV shows 2000s. That's what I'll put. 2000s. Damn. Oh my gosh. This is crazy, dude. I haven't looked at these names in so long. Drake and Josh, 16 and Pregnant. That was a crazy show. I remember watching that on MTV. Hannah Montana. That's So Raven. We don't get stuff like this no more at all.
Yeah, I don't think it would market well to this generation. I think the end of that was probably your generation and leaked a little bit into mine because I would watch some of these shows. But if I thought about it now and I thought about like younger people and would they sit down and watch this? No. They're not watching Hannah Montana. They're not going to sit there and watch that. They'd rather go and watch whoever do their makeup on YouTube or whoever do whatever they're doing on YouTube. They're not going to sit and watch a show where there's a storyline and a whole they're not. It's just not happening. So I think if Disney invested in something like this, they're putting their money into something completely wrong.
So Disney Plus and these other streaming companies, they got a really hard battle targeting Gen Z because they can't be dropping these Buffys, Frasers, Boy Meets World. They can't do the Friends.
But
this doesn't work no more to get the younger people.
You know who's kind of marketing it well is Netflix. Netflix has kind of cracked that code a little bit on getting Gen Z back in their corner because they're taking, for instance, two drag queens that I know and watch and having them sit there and just talk about these Netflix shows. They play a show of Netflix or a movie on Netflix and they sit there and they just make fun of it and they talk about it and all of it's posted to YouTube. And those views just go absolutely insane because they make fun of things and they talk about things just very personally with each other and it goes crazy like that. So I feel like Netflix using some sort of YouTube to promote their things or TikToks to promote their things is very, very smart. And I don't see Disney doing that. It would be cool if Disney did that. It would be cool to have, Disney market their stuff on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. They just don't. I haven't seen them do it yet. I don't know if they're maybe going to follow in the footsteps of Netflix eventually. But yeah, it's very hard if you don't crack into that Disney and social media merge. It's like there's a weird disconnect from both, and you have to find that sweet spot in the middle that merges them.
It's a good point that you make about that, Noah. Gen Z also, I don't think they watch TV. They watch their phone. I like watch TV on a phone. You know what's and I could kind of relate to this. There's lots of times where I could watch on the TV, but I still watch it on my phone, like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
You know what? For some reason, I like watching YouTube on my phone than like screencasting into a TV. So that's like another battle that these streaming companies have to face, and Disney in general, is that people are on their phone way more dominant than sitting at home and watching watching the TV. So the TV itself is becoming obsolete because our phones are so good now. How do you feel about that?
Yep.
Things are just more on the phone than on a TV.
It's true. That's just the reality of everything that's progressing forward. Is like everything is right here. It's very accessible. It's right on my phone. I can look up places to eat, or I can watch the next episode of whatever. It's all right here. So yeah, I think that the TVs are kind of out, I guess. I don't know if I would necessarily say they're out, because I use my TV for like streaming YouTube videos. Oh, whoever's at the park, or a new video I want to watch, let me cast it to my TV. But I'm not turning on like a cable and watching, reruns of Grey's Anatomy or, whatever. Like nobody's doing that anymore. Nobody of my generation is doing that anymore. I think that's kind of also left with the older generations. But yeah, if they're not marketing towards the social media, they're losing the Gen Z. I can tell you that right now.
So then, like, these parks 30 years from now, Noah, who's going to them? Or does Gen Z still somehow find a love for the theme parks, and people are going to go no matter what to theme parks? Because I've always looked at it as like a circle, is that the media, gets all these people to fall in love with all these Disney stories, and then eventually you're like, I want to visit Disneyland or Walt Disney World, and then you're like, I love this even more, and then you get a pass, and then you become a fan of the theme park aspect. But if younger generation is not in this loop, they're not even watching your content, how do they get the theme park going down the line? How do I get the 10-year-olds 30 years from now paying $1,000 for a hotel? How do I do it? That's like a legit question right there.
Yeah, you got. I mean,
you know what I mean?
That, you got to start thinking. You got to start thinking about what the people want, and I don't know if Disney's necessarily giving the people what they want. And we know they're not, based on an Avatar experience coming. Nobody's hyped about that. Not a lot of people are. I can tell you right now, Gen Z's not showing up for Avatar Land. We don't want that. We don't care about that. So it's weird. It's weird that they're like giving us things that we don't want and then expecting us to come and love them. Like, we won't if we don't. I'm not like, if there was a park dedicated solely to Avatar, I would never buy a ticket. I don't care to see it. I don't care to do it. But I think it's maybe just hanging on to those classic movies and shows and whatever, and kind of keeping that magic alive that'll save them, and really listening to the people and seeing what they want. Like, I don't, how many people right now in this current day and age would love something bluey at the park? People would go insanity.
They're gonna go nuts.
Kids would go crazy. Yeah. I just don't see it happening until maybe 10 years down the line, when Disney finally decides, like, Bluey actually was a good idea. Maybe we should incorporate Bluey. It's too late at that point. It's too late.
They should have had a Bluey cafe or Bluey restaurant in downtown Disney right now. Just do it. Just get it done.
Oh my gosh. You know how that would sell out like crazy.
ESPN Zone, make it a Bluey photo op meet and greet restaurant. Boom. Moneymaker.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going to be, but Disney doesn't own Bluey. Dude, they can make it happen. Like, there's agreements.
It's on Disney Plus. How do they not? It's on Disney Plus. I've seen it advertised at the parks on the old ESPN building. There's a big Bluey poster up there.
I asked Google. I was just curious what Google would say. I put, what does Gen Z like? And it says Gen Zers love to feel like they're part of something bigger. That's why it's important for brands to create spaces for them to connect with others who share the same values. And yes, this may mean reinvigoration of in-person events. Gen Zers want to be alongside like-minded peers and engage with brands. You think that's right?
That's right. No, that's 100% right. That I feel like
Avatar Land.
That's 100%. That's correct. That is correct. And yeah, I don't know. Disney's marketing this all wrong for Gen Z. We're not buying into it. I can't. We just can't. It's not.
If Disney wanted to hit Gen Z right in the heart of like what they care about, what property do they bring to the park as a meet and greet, a new restaurant, a new land, a ride, merch? It could even just be merch, right? Where do you hit Gen Z, Noah? We're asking some like $1 million questions right here. Disney's probably listening. Oh, what do you got to say, Noah?
I hope they're listening. At Disney, you can give me a call if you.
Yeah, give Noah a call now. Jeez Louise. But what can they, just one of those? It doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be all of them, but like where can they take it to? Like, you know what I mean?
Let's start with the success of Disney Channel night amongst Gen Zers. That's where we need to start. You had a wildly successful Disney Channel night amongst Gen Zers. People that were my age and Gen Z came out of that event saying it was the best event that they've ever been to at Disneyland. Start there. That's where you want to start. That's kind of what you want to market for this generation. That's what we grew up with. That's what we know. Classic Disney stuff I think is good too, but that reaches across multiple generations. That's, Disney can use Peter Pan and Snow White and all of that stuff, but it'll reach my generation and it'll reach my grandma's generation. Like we both, kind of grew up with that kind of stuff. So those are always good options, keeping things classic, but also staying in that realm of what people loved when they were younger. Like we loved Hannah Montana. We loved Camp Rock. We loved High School Musical. So if you want to market to this sort of generation, that's where you have to go. You have to go there.
You know one thing too about the Disney Channel night, Noah? And I didn't go, but just talking to a lot of people, seeing live streams of it and all that, I heard people singing the whole night. Like the music. Yeah. They were just singing, dancing. This party thing right here, people going nuts. And it's funny you mentioned this, Noah. You know, the one thing that like, I want to say at least 10 creators had is like over 1 million viewed reel or TikTok from Disney Channel night. People went viral from Disney Channel night.
Yep.
So guess who that hits? Gen Z. They're on the TikTok.
100%.
They're on the
Instagram. 100%. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That's where they need to start, is with something like that, taking that and expanding on it in whatever way they think they can expand on that. That's where they need to start. That's what they need to do.
You think they should have gone Disney Channel summer? instead of Pixar Fest? That would have been crazy, huh?
That would have marketed to Gen Z so well. So well. That would have been, oh my gosh, you would have seen all of Gen Z inside of Disneyland all summer long. 100% that would have worked.
Damn. They're probably eyeing it, Noah. They have to
But you can't, but then it goes back to that point of you can't cheap out either. You can't say we're giving you Disney Channel summer and you're taking a picture with the Hannah Montana cutout. We want to see Hannah Montana there. You know, we want to meet her. We want to be able to talk to her. We want it to be real and personable. It goes back to the whole like creating a community, creating an interaction between two people. We don't want it to just be like, yeah, we went and we took a picture in front of this green screen that made us look like we were in, you know, wherever. I don't know.
So this is where Disneyland has to be in this battle of like, well, do we keep catering to the younger crowd, or like Gina Marie, 80s, 90s? Do we cater to that crowd? and can we eat her cake? What is that phrase? Get her cake and eat it too, or something?
Yeah.
I feel like Gen Z would love an 80s, 90s night because, you know,
I think so too.
They would hit it all.
I think so too. Yeah, no, I definitely think so too. I think that's a good thing. And another point that you brought up is music. And I feel like music is so loved universally between everybody and everything, and everybody can relate to pieces of music or fall in love with pieces of music. And that's a big thing. I feel like Disney music has kind of taken a hit in movies and in things that they're doing, projects that they're doing. They're not as good as they used to be. You're not listening to that opening sequence of Star Wars and like getting all the goosebumps like you normally do. Like that doesn't happen anymore. You don't really do that. So I think they need to also go back and tap into that again. Let's tap into that music. Let's have, you know, major stars try to write something for a movie. Let's do that. Write a song for a movie. Let's get Billie Eilish to write a song for our next movie, or let's get Taylor Swift to write an album for our next movie, all inspired by, you know, whatever. So
you know what Disney did? A Mulan with zero music.
Yeah, that was wrong too. I don't know.
Dude, they're so out of touch. They in the media aspect, they're so out of touch. We got a Lion King that I don't even think had that much music either. Like compared to the animation. Man. And I've talked about it before of like if I was a kid now, what do I fall in love with that's Disney? You know, what's the new thing that I want to I want to like care about? I don't know. I guess X-Men 97, but that's we're talking about 30-year-old show that's just popular all of a sudden. Yeah.
There's nothing for kids right now. There really isn't. I mean, Bluey's the closest thing you can get for kids, but yeah, not much. There's not Disney movies targeted to kids right now that, you know, there's not been really a hit Disney movie that has been good for the whole family in a long time. There hasn't been a Toy Story or a Frozen or anything in a while. I think they tried to do it with Wish, and the way they broke it up with Wish about partially on Disney Plus and partially in the theaters, and it's not hitting Disney Plus till later, that really messed them up.
Yeah.
I think they needed to fully do a release in the theaters and wait for Disney Plus for a while, or they needed to put it directly to Disney Plus and everybody fall in love with it. It was weird the way that they did it, and there's not a movie I think that's coming out that's even remotely close to like a family movie like that.
You know, I'm trying to think like a movie. I guess Moana might be their last strongest. Everybody, it's just a consensus. Everybody loved it, watched it a lot, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking through movies. I guess Frozen 2. You know, I still remember when I watched Frozen 2, Noah. I was like, this ain't it. The song, that one song didn't hit. No, that was not it. And a lot of people hated on me that I was not liking it so much. Frozen 2 to me,
I'm low key hating on you right now.
yeah, it wasn't it for me. Frozen 1 spectacular. Frozen 2, I'm at a mid, at a 2.5 out of 5. We got theme parks with Johnny. 33 freaking months. Disney is no longer a creator. They're a distributor company. They buy content now and distribute. I could see that. I could see it. They bought Fox. They bought Star Wars. They bought Marvel. Who knows? They bought Pixar. They literally bought Pixar too. Oh man. Yep. Thank you, Johnny. No, I feel you, man. Man, I'm trying to look through a movie that's like as a recent. Ralph Breaks the Internet. I feel like people like that one. Or Wreck-It Ralph.
I don't know about that.
Oh, man. Yeah. All right. Closing thoughts on everything, Noah. Fantasmic, everything. Or is there any other topic that we didn't get into? Let me ask that first.
I don't think so. Not much coming out yet right now with everything. But closing thoughts, Fantasmic is back, but it's the same show we've seen, so nothing new or exciting. I think Disney needs to call me so we can do some more marketing ideas together. But yeah, there's nothing really crazy going on with Disney. Happy that they have a live entertainment offering back, but a little upset that they couldn't give us more. It is what it is. Hopefully that comes somewhere down the line of a brand new reimagining of Fantasmic. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see. I will be there, not on my dining package anymore. I did get rid of that. And I will just camp it out and watch it from wherever I get to watch it from. I'm not in any need to sit up front. There's nothing that I'm going to record or do. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how it plays out after it happens on Friday.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear the buzz, the final, like, did you like it? Is it what you thought it was going to be? I'm really curious.
Yeah.
I can tell you Danny was not happy. He was like, dude, we didn't get a dragon. I think that's the big one, is that we didn't get a dragon. No, the dragon head didn't come back. I feel like we were expecting the dragon head to come back, but
yeah.
Anthony says, why Orlando already has 4 HHN announcements, Hollywood 0? If I knew the answer, I would tell you, but I don't. We're just in a whole lot.
You know what I feel like that means though, is because all their announcements over in Orlando are all originals. They're not announcing any IPs over there yet. And I feel like we're not announcing anything because we have all IPs. I don't think we have really any originals, maybe 1 or 2. But if they announce that now, then they're kind of wasting it away. I don't know. So I feel like a majority of ours are going to be IPs, and that's why they're not announcing them yet.
Yeah. I hope whenever the announcements do come, they hit hard. They're IPs that we're all happy about, and can't wait to buy my ticket or Frequent Fear for Horror Nights. The big question, since we got Noah here, let's before we get out of here, Not Scary Farm is going to Midsummer Scream, but what do they have to announce? And if they do announce, does that mean no announcement for Scary Farm? Because usually Scary Farm themselves do an announcement. Last year they did it as a paid event. Before they used to go to the theater for Scary Farm. But if they're going to go to Midsummer, do you think they make announcements? That's what I'm trying to say. Because Midsummer is not that far. We're not that far.
I don't know if they necessarily make announcements at Midsummer. You know what I can really see them doing is you get to Midsummer, you're sitting down for the panel, they bring out, all the creative team who created what is that maze? The 50th maze, Chilling Chambers. And they kind of just walk you through all the history, and they kind of show you kind of photos and behind the scenes of while they were creating that maze, because it was so, that was the maze that connected a bunch of people together, a bunch of different generations of Scary Farm together. So I can see them kind of giving us a behind the scenes of that maze specifically, and then maybe at the end announcing some sort of announcement event. I could totally see that happening.
An
I don't know if we're necessarily going to get.
Announcement.
I think so. I think that's what we might be getting. But that's also a good thing, because I feel like if they announced everything at Midsummer Scream, it'd be a lot lesser quality than it would be if it's at their park and they do it in the theater, or they do it outside. I feel like there at the park, they can do so much more than they can at Midsummer Scream. So hopefully they announce an announcement at Midsummer Scream. I wouldn't be mad at it, because then at least we know we're getting something really cool when we go to that Knott's announcement.
I'm down with that, where they give us history of Chilling Chamber, maybe debut some Scary Farm merch, like just the generic one, and then announce the announcement.
Exactly.
Hey, sign me up. I want to be there.
Yeah, 100%. I could see him doing that. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at it. Normally, I am mad at an announcement of an announcement. But if they do an announcement event to the caliber that they've done them in the past, then I'm happy with it. I'm okay with that.
But Knott's can get away with an announcement of announcement, because for them it makes sense. It would make sense.
For them it makes sense, because when you go to their actual announcement,
they're just
that it's going to be big. They're going to go all out. Everything will be announced that day. You'll have characters out. You'll have fireworks. You'll have special effects. So they can totally get away with an announcement of an announcement, because then when you're going that you're going to get something pretty cool.
Yeah. My closing thoughts, kind of weird that they spoiled things for Fantasmic. Probably for your expectations have been set. That has to be why they did today the news. But overall, I'm very glad Fantasmic's come back in some type of capacity. I'm going to enjoy it no matter what. It's way better than World of Color 1. And I just can't wait to see that finale. The whole Mickey shooting fireworks everywhere. It's going to be epic. It's going to be really, really good. But thank you, Noah. Give people one more time where they can follow you and just upcoming content, if any.
Yeah, just Disnoahland on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, all that fun stuff. And I have content coming up there all the time. So there's always something. I have a big Vegas trip planned for next week. So my entire YouTube and Instagram will switch over to all things Vegas next week. So if you have literally any questions about Vegas, I will be there answering them all, pretty much showing you a ton of different offerings in Vegas. So I'm excited for that. And then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled theme park stuff and whatever. But next week's pretty much a Vegas takeover everywhere. So just expect that if you're there. Enjoy it if you're there. If not, we'll be back in the week after to just get back to the regularly scheduled stuff. So
we all love Vegas. I can't wait to see
we all love Vegas.
I want to see that content.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Noah. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We are firing it down. The Cali Bay Disnoahland are calling it a day. I'm the main host, Mondo.